And welcome back, fellow adventurers, to Let's Play Dreamfall Chapters. We have two tasks for Kian right now. We need to warn the mole about a potential raid coming soon against the resistance by the Azadi. And we need to speak with Anna. Now, Kian said that warning the mole shouldn't take too much time at all. So I guess we can go ahead and do that first. And after all, I think we're closer to where the mole is than where... You just need to step over to Old Town. It should be around here. By the way, this area on both sides, actually, of the South Gate is where the cut mission was, where you destroyed an incoming supply of Azadi weapons. Again, use our shroud to get past all the Azadi guards. I guess the potion must last for multiple days. Okay, so yep, we are in the right place. Now I just need to remember exactly which house belongs to the mole. Oh, this is the magical market. Ah. So actually I need to come around here. Ah, yes. Just down here. There we go.
What do you want?
I need to speak with the mole.
She's not expecting you.
She'll want to hear what I have to say.
Fine. But keep your hands where I can see 'em.
Yes, sir. Hello, Miss Mole.
Azadi apostate not dead yet? I expect you be dead by now. If you live this long, you might even make it to my age, but I don't recommend it. When your bones ache each morning and you can barely hold your liquor anymore, you curse the gods for keeping you alive. You come to warn Mole, then?
How did you know?
The mole always know. Whispers travel on the wind and voices reverberates through the soil. There's word of raid happening. Of course no one know for sure. The Azadi usually stay out of Old Town, afraid to cause ruckus, upset the order of things, afraid of people rising up against them. Though times do change. Whether Azadi attack happen or not, Mole's prepared. Don't you worry about the mole. Mole has burrows. Beside, it may be time to leave Mercuria altogether. Those infernal machines your people build make my fur stand on end. They crackle. They buzz. They are opposite of magic. Make Mole's head pound. Don't know what they're for and what'll happen when they're all done building them, but Mole don't like it. Don't like it one bit. Something's coming, Kian of the rebels. I smell it. I feel it in my whiskers, in my aching bones. Something unnatural, something mean. There's no room in Mercuria for magic or for magicals. Not anymore. No. Whether Azadi attack is coming or not, it's time for the mole to dig other burrows. Or perhaps return home to the birth burrow. Find an old familiar hole to sleep in. Sleep until this shadow has passed. Or until we're all of us dry bones beneath the soil. You may consider your warning delivered. This is the last you'll see of me. The last you see of the Banda, the burrowers, the little ones who sing to the soil. My people, all gone. You tell your shepherd she's welcome to everything in my possession. All the weapons and food and medicine. All you need to keep fighting. Watch your hide, Kian of Clan Alvarne. These are dark times, and you're at the heart of it all. Well? Why are you still here? Go! Go! May the soil be ever soft under your feet, Apostle. The fate of worlds falls on you now.
So it seems like the mole has decided to throw in the towel. Although, given the life she's had, I could understand her just kind of being tired of everything. Still kind of a shame, though, because it means the Resistance loses her as an ally. Even if she was perhaps not the most, how do I say it, enthusiastic supporter of the Resistance. At least she was willing to help. I hope she's wrong about all the Banda being extinct when she dies, but at this point we don't know. She could be right. Alright, so now our second task is simply...
After my shift's over, I think I'll head down to that cheap tavern by the harbour. Oh, what's it called again? No.
It's called The Rooster and the Kitten. At least it is in the G rating. Now, we need to go to find Anna in a place where all of Old Town is below. In other words, what she's referring to is an overlook position. Are they still playing that game? It's not made especially clear at this point, but the idea is that Kian has been working missions for the Resistance for some time now. That's why the mole referred to Kian as basically saying, "Oh, you're not dead yet," kind of somewhat surprised. And it helped a little bit when they had the cut content where you did another mission to destroy the Azadi supplies to give the impression that some time had passed and Kian was doing many different missions for the Resistance. Here it makes it a little bit more seem a little bit stranger from the player's point of view, because you do your very first mission for the Resistance, and then the very next time you see Kian, he's doing these missions. And it's not quite as clear, aside from the dialogue, that he's been doing stuff for some amount of time. Okay, now we are on the lower part of the bones. Let's see, I'm trying to remember whether we need to go a little bit higher to meet Anna or further down. I think we need to get higher, just because you can see up there, the upper part of the city has this wall in between. It's kind of a probably defensive originally in its
I gotta
design.
leave Marcuria for the first time in months.
So I think there's some good
I'm so sick of this shit.
overlook places up here. I just got to remember which side. I think it's this one. Is it over here? Yes. Okay. The area known as the bench. Well, there's actually more than one, but anyway. This is another thing that my very first playthrough, it took me a while, because I just had no idea what she meant by looking over Old Town, and I thought she meant something that was further or closer to Old Town, more of an overlook. I also went all around Old Town to the tall building areas, trying to see if there's some secret way I could actually get up into the buildings. Oh man. But it turns out she was just here the whole time.
It's a nice view, isn't it? I've always found Marcuria beautiful, especially in summer. Of course, those metal tubes are a bit of an eyesore. And that tower... Actually, the tower I quite like.
Why did you want to meet me?
Oh, so impatient. You always were. I've been saving something for a rainy day. Someone, actually. And, well, no rain at the moment. But the forecast for tonight sounds grim.
It can't hurt to pool our resources and share information. She knows something about tonight. Saving someone for a rainy day?
There's an Azadi officer, high-ranking, a captain. He has, an arrangement with a young woman in Old Town. A non-human.
He's fucking a magical.
Eloquent, but yeah, he's fucking a magical. We both know what it would do to his career if anyone found out.
They'd strip him of his rank. He'd be arrested, tortured, most likely sentenced to death.
All for a little blue girl and some exotic sex. Your people are so predictable, Azadi. So easy to compromise. You know, the more things you forbid, the more sins there are to be tempted by. You're a nation of the repressed, a powder keg ready to blow.
But how will this information help us?
Today is this officer's day with his young lady. She has a room near Shady Quay. Our horny captain never goes alone. The fool brings his uniformed knave to keep watch, which is convenient, like a big arrow pointing to the right door. If you were to confront the captain in a compromising position, there'd be no limit to what you could accomplish.
Why give me this information? You could have profited from it yourself.
I have no need for money or leverage. But I thought you could put this to good use. Find out what's going down. Maybe stop it, save some lives, or take some.
I thought you didn't care about the resistance.
I never said that. I never said I did either. But maybe I care for other things.
Why did you bring me all the way up here to tell me this?
Because I don't trust them or anyone. I've been burned in the past.
But why me?
Because you, Kian, I trust.
He barely even knows her. Why would he suddenly kiss her?
This isn't... Anna, wait.
Yeah, I think that choice caught most people by surprise. Because it's presented a little strangely. I mean, yeah, she's getting, intimately close to him in that one scene. But at this point, this is what, the second time that he's seen her, ever? So why would he suddenly want to get romantic with her? So I remember being caught out of the blue. And in fact, that was the first choice that I ran across that had such a short timer. So it actually, the timer ran out before I actually could make a decision. And he just kind of sat there stupidly instead of either pulling away or kissing her. And she kind of berated him for his
I hear we're getting visitors from
indecision,
Seville.
I guess.
I wonder who it could be. Or maybe the general's returning.
I was not expecting the time limit. But anyway, okay, so we have a chance to compromise an Azadi who is having intimate relations with a member of the magical race, which according to Kian is a potentially capital offense in the Azadi. So we need to go, oops, actually, let's just go ahead and go this way. Need to get back to Old Town. And I think all the way back down to Shady Quay again. So if you actually want to go over and do this part of Anna's quest first, then pretty much everything else you can take care of in Shady's Quay. Ah, this is what I wanted. Cut across the ghetto here.
What are you doing here? You're not from Old Town. I'm not talking to you.
I like the lighting around the marketplace. I think it's really pretty. There's an Azadi guard, standing out like a sore thumb.
He's guarding the door to that house. This must be where that Azadi officer meets his girl. I need to find a way to get him away from the door.
Yeah, because of course, if he goes up to him and starts talking to him, his shroud will break. So it's a double-edged sword, this cloak he has on. He can't be spotted without, being without wanting to, but he can't also interact with the guards for any reason.
There's official Azadi business going on here. You'll want to turn around and walk away.
You don't see me. I am nobody that you recognize. Okay, what? Let's see. I think I have to go back to the market. I think that may be the case. Let me take a quick look over at the dock here just to make sure. No, I don't see who I'm looking for. You may have a guess, by the way, as to who I'm actually looking for at this point, even if you haven't played this scene before. Let's see.
Cured Elgin meat, pickled shrimp cheese, crispy bitter leaf.
See around here. Oh, that's why I couldn't see him, because he's right in front of me. It's Bip. Hey, Bip.
Hey! Did you find that turncoat you were looking for?
I did, thanks to you.
Did you kill him?
I did not. He's in our custody.
You should kill him. He's a traitor.
Well, sometimes even traitors deserve second chances.
Really? Huh. Are you on another mission?
Perhaps. I'm sorry, boy, but I'm quite busy.
Let me help.
The boy might prove useful, but I don't know how yet. I don't need help right now, but I'll let you know when I do.
Sure. It's not like I have anything better to do.
Okay, now let's see. Of course, we do need to use him if I recall correctly, but now I'm trying to remember how. Let's see. Let me quickly go back to the guard here and look at him a couple more times and see if Kian can give me a hint as to what comes next. It's the problem with having not played this game in a while.
I must distract that guard somehow. He's guarding the door to that house.
Nope.
This must be where that Azadi officer meets his girl.
Oh, wait a minute. I think I remember there was something else nearby that I have to see, and then Bip can help me with it. Let's see, what was it? It's not over there. Something else around this immediate vicinity? I can see the mole's guard has gone, so she really has packed up. Oh, that's cordoned off. No wonder I couldn't get over there. Oh, darn it. I know I'm missing something.
I need to find a way to get him away from the door.
Alright, well, there's nothing here, so let's go back to the marketplace. Maybe there's something else I need to look at, so that I have the option of asking Bip to help me out.
The boy reminds me a lot of myself at that age. Orphaned, a street urchin living hand to mouth, eager to get into all kinds of trouble. Tiny toad testicles,
I've
a
got
common
tasty
alchemical ingredient
sandwiches.
here in the Northlands. I've read quite a lot about this.
Ugh. Sounds lovely.
This stuff is similar to our black powder, except it burns longer and slower. It's a potent explosive that can act as a propellant for both muskets and
Cured
fireflowers.
Elgin meat, pickled shrimp cheese, crispy bitter leaf, wrapped in a crunchy yeast bun. What can I do for you, friend? Would you care for a tasty sandwich?
Your sign says sandwiches and fireflowers.
Ah, yes. Used to be I made the best fireflowers in Old Town. Spectacular things that lit up the night sky. Sparklers and illuminations, crackers and flyers. But no more, I'm afraid. Alchemy apparently falls under the definition of magic these days, and is therefore strictly forbidden. I can make you a savoury sandwich, though. Guaranteed sand and witch free.
Even if I was hungry, those sandwiches sound dubious. But if it helps divert her attention. I've seen fireworks in the past. They're spectacular, and they make a lot of noise. A perfect diversion.
Ah, here we go. There's the magic word, diversion.
I'd like to buy one of your fireflowers.
Can't help you with that, I'm afraid. The Azadi have banned the use of illuminations, crackers, sparklers and flyers. Any and all alchemy.
How about the ingredients? I would only need some of your powders and...
My hands are tied, friend. Or at least they will be if I sell you any of my alchemic powders and potions. The orders are quite clear. There's to be no trade of any sort in magical items. In fact, I should probably clear away those chemicals later today. This place is flush with thieves and mendicants.
Okay, so maybe get our hands on that Urhadi Ash. I think actually she's Zid, which might make her the only magical stall owner left, because I'm reasonably sure while there's still some magicals wandering around here, I think all the other merchants are human. Also, you can see she's wearing a big hat to cover up some of her Zidian features. Okay, maybe Bip can help us get the ash then.
Have you changed your mind? Do you want my help now?
I won't put him in any more... The boy might prove useful, but I don't know how yet.
Nope, not quite yet.
I don't need help right now, but I'll let you know when I do.
Sure. It's not like I have anything better to do.
Cured Elgin meat, pickled shrimp cheese. Can I tempt you with a savoury sandwich? I'm the best sandwicher in all of Old Town. Also, the only sandwicher in Old Town.
That's the next big game, Sandwicher. Anyway.
Even if I was hungry, I'll have one of your sandwiches.
Brilliant! Step right over here, friend, to my sandwiching table.
Hey, what are you doing? I told you to stand right there. Sandwiching is a delicate... Hey! What about your sandwich? And this was turning into one of my best creations ever.
Okay, so maybe now we can use Pip? Because we can't... She's going to keep an eye on us so that we can't just take the ash when she's making the sandwich.
Have you changed your mind? Do you want my help now?
I won't put him in any more... The boy might...
Ah!
I don't need help right now. But I'll let you know what...
Oops.
Sure. It's not like I have anything better to do.
Man, I really need to spell this out for Kian, it sounds like.
Ah, you're back. Did you want your sandwich or not?
I did. I do.
I perform my sandwiching over here. Not there, but right here. Now, will that be on fried flatbread, steamed yeast bun, or a baked grain roll?
I really have no idea. Flat fried bread.
Bride flatbread coming... fried bread fed... Balance. Fried flatbread it is.
I guess that could be kind of hard to say.
And just a dash of this and a dash of that and some of this and a
Can't
bit
get
of that.
over there close enough.
How about some fermented moon seeds with that?
Anything to keep her distracted. Yes, please.
Splendid.
Oh, she's going over.
Didn't I tell you to stand still and not move around? A sandwicher must... Oh, good, you're back. Now, stay still while I prepare your sandwich. Now, meat. Today I have a cured elguan, pickled saltwater snapjaw, and kitten carpaccio.
Kitten?
Yeah.
We sometimes had boiled elguin in Friar's Keep. It tasted like footwear, and no matter how long or hard you chewed, the meat would never yield. One bite from a fully grown saltwater snapjaw means a painful and prolonged death for the victim.
Yeah, it seems to fit the rest of the sandwich ingredients here.
What are my chances with the pickled snapjaw?
Fair to good. The brine dilutes the poison. Most experience few to no side effects. Deaths are very rare. Mind you, the excessive salt might cause organ failure over time, but I've had no complaints so far.
How many have you sold?
This would be my first.
Goddess. Fine.
You better be hungry, you better not be fed. The sandwich maker's knife is cutting up your bread. Sunny side gets cheese, and the other one... I can't be expected to perform... Where did you go? It's very important that you stand right there while I'm sat... Hey, what are you doing?
Have you changed your mind? Do you want my help now?
Ah, here we go. Okay, we have to do it while she's trying to make the
Might actually
sandwich.
turn out to be useful to me. You want to help?
Yeah.
Even if it's dangerous?
What do you think?
What do you know about fireworks?
You mean fire flowers? I know everything. My father makes Bakshivan candles for the Festival of Turning every year.
Fine. Follow me.
Sandwiches.
Yes!
I've got tasty sandwiches.
Okay, finally. Now we can do what I remember.
So you've come back. Again. Should I even bother with your sandwich?
Please.
Come along now. The sandwiching is about to begin.
Okay. Now she's distracted. We'll have Bip
Quickly. Grab those ingredients.
do a little thieving.
Thief! Get away from there, you little bastard, or I'll call for the city watch.
Ah, shoot. Yeah, I have to remember she's... I have to wait till her back is turned and then sick Pip on him.
So you've come back. Again. Should I even bother with your sandwich?
Please.
Step right over here, friend, and we can get started.
You better be hungry, you better not be fed. The sandwich maker's knife is cutting up your bread. Sunny side gets cheese, and the other one gets meat. A sandwich maker's craft is, something feet. Oh, would you like some crispy bitter leaf?
Yes.
Anything to keep her distracted. Yes, please.
Splendid.
There we go.
Get the chemicals.
Nibbles, scrub, tasty morsels. I've got eggs from across the Northlands.
Right, here we are, as ordered. Mostly. I had to make a few alterations. Remember to chew well and don't swallow too soon. Also, if you feel any discomfort whatsoever, a spoonful of vinegar should do the trick. If not, please visit a physician post-haste.
Oh, you can actually see her ears are poking out of her hat, so she definitely is a Zid. Now, don't get me wrong, that scene's pretty funny. The descriptions of all the various ingredients and how terrible they are always gives me a chuckle. It's just kind of annoying that you have to have such a deliberate order of events in order to solve that particular puzzle. Let's see what Kian has to say about his sandwich.
In Sadir, these things are called champions. They're often sold outside temples, military barracks, and schools.
Guess what we call subs. Although, champions sounds pretty cool as well. Okay, Bip is here. Our thief has completed his mission.
How was that?
That was perfect. But remember, stealing is wrong.
You told me to steal.
In this case, it was justified. But don't steal. You'll lose a hand or your head.
Here's the stuff.
My table's always open day and night.
Ah, okay. Oof, man, that's a lot of stuff.
I've got the non-magic.
You said your father taught you how to make fire flowers.
Well, sort of. He made Baksheevan candles, and I watched him make them, but he never let me do it myself. Said it might blow my fingers off or burn my eyes out, but I can give you instructions.
Fair enough. What do I do first?
First, make the glowy balls. I don't know exactly how to make the glowy balls, but when my dad did it, the balls came out all glowy.
Okay, well, maybe combine the toad testes with the sunworm? Will make them glow?
Good. Now you need to make the fire powder somehow. My father was never too clear on how that part's done. All I know is that it's powder that went psst when it was lit.
Well, let's combine the crimson crub and the Azadi hash.
All that's left is to combine all the ingredients in a tube. That should be easy, right?
Oh, that I can do.
You start with the fire powder at the bottom,
Oh, sorry.
and then the glowy balls on top, until the tube is full. That looks okay. I'm not sure how well it's going to work, but there's only one way to find out.
I've got the non-magical medicines your body needs.
It's a working fire flower. A Baksheevan candle.
Okay. So let's see. Is he going to follow us? Yes, he's going to follow us. Excellent. All right. And this part, I do remember pretty well. We are going to once again employ Bip to cause this distraction. Now he has the tool to do so. And he said he never got to use them before, so this should be fun. Question is where? Do I just use them on the guard?
Boy, try and distract that guard away from the door.
Hey, you got it! I bet you can't catch me!
Scram, you little shit.
Yeah, obviously that alone doesn't do it. There's something that I think he needs to use the candle on. Let's go over here, maybe? No, don't see. Scan around. Do we have to... Oh, do we have to give him the fire flower?
Here you go, boy.
Ah.
Now don't light this before I tell you to.
Oh man! I'll be careful. I promise.
He is
can't wait to see how
understandably
this one burns.
excited. Okay, now maybe just use him on the guard?
Use the fireworks to distract the guard away from
Here
that
we go.
door.
Yes, yes. Hey, hey! Check this out. Too slow.
Come back here, you little shit.
Hopefully he can scramble away before the guard catches him, although he seems to be really good at that.
What in Shadow's name are you? Apostle! You're dead!
He won't hurt you again, child. I promise. Leave. Do not come back.
My head's hurting. Why is my... What's happening? Who are you? Where's Ramin? Why am I tight? Alvane. You're not dead. How in Shadow's name? I'll pay you. I'll make you wealthy. I'll get you a pardon from the tower and...
Shut your mouth. I need information.
What do you mean by that?
If you speak out of turn again, I'll cut off your dick and shove it down your throat. The raid tonight.
I don't know anything about a raid.
Now here we have two options, torture and threaten. Here it's almost evenly split. More people choose threaten.
I cannot justify torture. I'll have to convince him to talk to me, and trust that he reveals the truth. He will lie. Unless I show him what happens when he does. Unless I cause him pain.
Now there is a point to be made here about the threaten one, and that is, can we trust him to be truthful under threats as opposed to torture? At the same time, though, the idea of one of our protagonists using torture on someone can be pretty distasteful for the player. So, again, this is one where I can see going either way. After all, it is true that as an apostle, torture was actually part of Kian's normal toolbox. This is something that he would regularly use. I mean, he would threaten people as well, like he threatened Naane. But by his backstory, he's also he's an fanatic inquisitor. At least he used to be. So he has torture techniques that he knows about. So for this playthrough, we're going to take the harder line here.
He will lie. Unless I show him what happens when he does. Unless I cause him pain.
Goddess, no. No! Ah!
I was the apostle. I brought pain to our enemies. In return, they confessed and converted. without fail. If I was trained to make the devout denounce their own gods, do you not think I can make a goddessless child molester reveal his secrets?
Please. Please, no more. I'll tell you everything I know. There will be a raid on the magic ghetto tonight, before sunup. Commander Vamon is leading the unit himself. They have a list. Magicals. Humans who've aided the resistance. Suspected collaborators. It's a long list. They're planning to round up most of the magicals. Take them to the islands. Some they're just going to kill. Their families. Their homes. They'll be burnt to the ground. It's retaliation for what happened at the keep. For the weapons shipment. Vamon wants everyone to know there will be consequences to the rebels' actions. That everyone will suffer because of the resistance.
Let's go over this again. Tell me everything you know.
Please. Don't kill me. I won't tell anyone about this. About you, I can't. They'll execute me. I'll do anything. I'll spy for you. I'll feed you information from inside the tower. Just spare me. Please. For the love of the goddess, I beg you.
Alright, this is the second and final choice for this scene. Kill him or spare him. And we see that 74% chose to spare him. There may be, in addition to story reasons, there are also game reasons for this that I'll get into a bit later. But again, I actually understand this kind of lopsidedness here.
There's always a risk that he will reveal what happened here. But if I spare his life, he could be of value to us. He has much to lose if he reveals what happens here. But I can't risk it. And his crimes are too grave.
Now again, I can see this going either way. Because we have no guarantees, or Kian doesn't, that he will actually prove useful. Now it is true that, at least it seems pretty true, that if the Azadi find out what he's been doing, he is going to be executed. And so it seems that he would have some incentive to not have that revealed. At the same time, though, he is basically a child molester. I mean, that magical girl that he was with looked way underage. And by the way, this is probably the darkest that this game gets. This is something that probably, if this hadn't been an independently funded project, probably would not have been approved, just because of the dark content of this scene. I mean, they don't go into, obscene visuals or anything like that, but I mean, just the matter, the subject matter itself is incredibly dark and twisted. So, I can see either Kian
reveals what happens here, but I can't risk it, and his crimes are too grave.
I can see either Kian or the player just saying, what he's done is just so heinous that we just can't risk it, so just kill him and be done with it. But again, there are other consequences besides whether he gives you information or not that ride on this particular decision. So I am actually going to side with the majority on this one and spare him and see if the blackmail that we now have on him will yield some useful information from inside the tower.
Betray me, and the tower will know what you did. Even if they spare your life, I will find you, and I will make you pay.
Yes, yes! I swear on the first mountain. I won't speak a word of this. I'll give you all the information I come across, everything.
You'll return to this place every week to meet an agent of ours. Your guard will believe you still visit your girl.
Of course, Apostle. Thank you.
Shut up before I cut your tongue from your mouth. I'll release you now, but you'll stay here until your guard knocks on the door. We'll know the instant you break your oath. Where's the guard?
He's in a mud cellar, stuck to his knees in Elgwyn dung. He'll be busy for a while.
You did good, Bib.
What happened in there? Did you get what you needed?
I did. Listen, you can't stay here in Old Town. The Azadi are coming.
I'm not afraid of the Azadi.
Nevertheless, you need to leave. I'll bring you to the Enclave, and you'll be safe with...
I'm not going anywhere. This is where I live. What if my parents come back? They'll be looking for me.
You're not safe here. I'm sure your parents would be happier knowing you're with us.
You just want to put me in an orphanage.
Wait. Shadow. Children.
I guess Kian would make a very good babysitter.
The General is asking questions.
I've heard. We must find Kian before...
I'll make sure Harmy's attentions are directed elsewhere. Tonight's raid on the Magic Ghetto will be a good start.
What did he say?
The General tells me that my men are sticking to the story, but that some of the prisoners are spreading rumors. It's of little concern. They will not live to see another interview.
And arouse more suspicion? Don't be a fool, Vermon.
Don't ever call me a fool.
Then try not to act like one. Who else did he speak with?
The Warden.
What? I thought you were taking care of that problem.
You're the one who worries about arousing suspicion. I couldn't simply have him executed. There are laws.
And now the General has a witness.
An infidel's testimony can never be used against Trueborn.
But his words can fuel further investigations.
The General will soon have other matters to concern himself with. We're stepping up the deportations and we're close to completing the machine. After that, Kian's death will be low on his list of priorities.
And in the meantime, the General is pursuing leads.
Like I said, tonight's raid will distract him.
How so?
Because it won't go well. The rebels will strike. Many of his men will die, our forces will be on high alert, and, as Supreme Commander, it'll be Harmy's job to clean up.
He will blame you.
And I will take responsibility. And action. There will be little time for his investigations. By the time the situation is under control again, other matters will have taken precedence. We will keep the General's attentions elsewhere until our mission here is done. And then,
No one will challenge us. I hope you're right.
I always am. Come here.
This is not the time for...
I'm as hard as Nigali steel. This is exactly the time.
Ah, there's Liko and...
I apologize for being
Inu?
late, but I have important...
Every minute wasted could mean lives lost. Inu, can you tell us what you've learned?
Not a whole lot. No one's talking. There's not even a whisper of a raid. I'm starting to think maybe Ulvik's loose-lipped, drunken Azadi was merely a braggart. Also, merely a braggart? I've been around you guys too long. I'm starting to speak like a sullen warrior.
I went looking for our people in Old Town. They're standing by for my word. I don't want to pull them out of the city until we know for sure what's happening. Let's hope for their sake Ainu's right, and there's no raid tonight.
The raid is taking place, just before sunrise. We still have several hours.
How did you come up?
Hey, Big Blue, let him speak.
The plan is to arrest as many magicals as possible, along with rebel sympathizers. It's a show of strength. They want us to be scared.
Where did you get this information, Kian?
From a trusted source. I met her here before we...
Mystery Woman! I remember Mystery Woman! Well, I remember you talking about Mystery Woman. She's a friend of Ulvik's, right? We can definitely trust her.
She told me about an Azadi officer who visits with an underage Dalmari girl. And she told me where to find him.
He was with a child? That's sick.
And did you find him?
I did. They'll be coming into the ghetto from the north and the east, and they'll have a ship blocking all traffic in and out of Shady Quay. He told me that this will be their biggest raid on the ghetto so far. Given his rank and the precariousness of his situation, I believe him.
How did you get him to reveal all that?
I did what I had to do to make him speak. He was in no state to tell lies.
Did what you had... Wait, you tortured him? That's how you got the information? We don't do that! Do we?
I would have done the same.
Color me not surprised.
It sounds like your intelligence is to be trusted, Kian. We'll prepare for the raid, and I'll tell our people to abandon Old Town.
Where's the officer now?
I let him go. He might prove a valuable asset in the future.
Will he not simply go straight to his masters?
I have information that would lead to his execution. Should his commanders learn the truth, he'll keep his silence.
But you let a child molester walk free. Was that because he's one of yours? And because the Dalmari girl is just another filthy magical? I won't soon forget this insult, Azadi.
For what it's worth, Kian, I think you did the right thing. I mean, he deserves punishment for what he did to the girl, but to have a source inside the tower? This could change everything. Well, at least now we know what's happening tonight. So much for my sources. We've been waiting for a chance to show the Azadi we're not running scared. We have magic.
Potent magic.
Magic that goes boom! Big time. And maybe...
Maybe we can reduce their numbers. Blow a few of those dogs to their precious first mountain.
I just wish you hadn't tortured him. Some things are just not okay. But at least you let him live. That was definitely the right choice, even if Liko will never agree. Boy, he really doesn't like you, does he?
Who's there? You? However did you get here?
looks like Zoe is contemplating using the dream machine, as much as it makes her feel uneasy. Okay, so the consequences of Kian's actions in the previous scene are basically that if you only threaten the Azadi instead of torturing him, then Liko will not believe the information, and so members or allies of the resistance will get swept up in the raid. Whereas, as you saw, if you do torture him, Liko will believe the information and will pull all of the resistance support out of Old Town before the raid happens. And at the same time, the other decision, whether or not to kill the Azadi, then affects your relationship with Enu and Liko. If you let the officer live as an informant, then Liko hates you even more, but Enu approves, and then vice versa if you decide to kill the Azadi officer. Yep, again, nothing new on the screen. Let's see, I don't think there's anything else to see around the apartment, so I guess it's just looking at the dream machine.
Things didn't go too well the last time I connected to a dreamer.
That is very true.
What is it doing to people's heads? I don't trust it, and I don't trust Watty. Sooner or later, though, I might have to go back in there.
Mira, do you have a second?
Depends. Are you done? I need those bots to go out tomorrow.
Almost done. I was wondering if I could leave a teensy bit early today.
Be kind. Rewind. Almost?
Mostly. I'm mostly done.
In your experience, Petal, what's my answer to a question like that?
One filled with expletives. But it's really important that I...
Of course it's fucking important. It's always important. It's never not important. You wouldn't be asking if it wasn't important, would you, Kuchia? So what's so important that you feel it takes precedence over the work I pay you to do?
I have an appointment with the editor of The Hand. They're doing a story and...
And he can't do this story without you. Even though he's a professional reporter and you're what are you again?
You tell me. Most of the time I'm running errands. I should be programming.
Should is a big word. I should be making 1,000,000 yuan. I should not be forced to run my operations out of a mother-chewing garage. And you should be grateful you have a job that pays a decent salary.
Decent?
A salary. Go on, get out of here before I change my mind and make you work overtime. Just be here extra early tomorrow to, I don't know, what do you hate doing the most?
Sitting at my terminal learning more about neural programming. I really, really hate that.
Mopping floors. That's it. You'll come extra early to mop the fucking floors. Alright?
Yes. Fine. Sure.
Alright. Time to go over the paper and see if Sully has put that story together yet.
Mira's like a really bitchy and neurotic version of my friend Liv from Casablanca. I miss Liv. She was the best. Mira's most treasured tool, an acoustic turn screw. I don't know how it works, but it's like a magic wand of modern science.
Nice reference to the sonic screwdriver.
Blueprints of bots and what looks like neural interfaces. Wit. He's the diametric opposite of Mira. Quiet, calm, focused. He never says a word, but that's part of his charm. Mira calls that the main switch. I don't know what it switches, but it's important enough to have a box of its own. It's an ancient artifact that spins black vinyl discs with analog music on them. Basically magic.
Yeah, so no new descriptions so far here.
If I try that, I believe Mira might actually stab me with a screwdriver in the face.
And we actually saw which screwdriver she'll stab with. I'm not sure if that tool was there before and I just missed it, or you can only look at it at this part in the game, but anyway. Okay. So she didn't actually try on the Dreamer in the previous scene. Instead, she just kind of contemplated using it, I guess, at some point. Also, I forgot to mention, in one of those quick scenes with Mother Utena, we saw a crow visit her. So is that the crow? We'll have to find out.